There are three realities in life that we may never get to see the end of: death, taxes, and cheating in video games.
I just got spammed. Bro, we all... Is he cheating? He's cheating. Okay. Dude, I was like...
The term cheating is defined as, quote, acting dishonestly or unfairly in order to gain an advantage, and is something that's plagued almost every form of competition for many, many years now. If you've kept up with some of the most memorable cheating scandals, you may remember the infamous Word.exe incident, where a player known as Forsaken tried entering a CSGO major with aim hacks enabled, and was quickly put under suspicion after hitting shots like these.
Antidote, I'm going to have to try and retake the site. Luckily, there is a hole in the smoke, so Forsaken's going to get some nice positioning up on the site.
Despite Forsaken being the only cheater on the team, and his teammates being completely unaware he was doing this, they were all immediately banned from the tournament. But cheating can happen in more subtle ways as well. Super Smash Bros. Melee saw a cheater a few years back who manually modified his personal memory card and changed certain hitboxes of his character's moves, making them larger and giving them additional knockback to the opponent, ultimately making most of his moves incredibly strong, much stronger than they were supposed to be. People's suspicions began to rise when he conveniently wouldn't play friendlies with anybody and refused to play on any other setup than his own. And eventually, the suspicions would prove to be right when, after studying his memory card, players found all the modifications he had made to his game, banning him instantly in the process. But after seeing such ridiculous cheating scandals like these, it makes you wonder, why even cheat in the first place? Whether it's for personal gain or to use as a trump card if someone is beating you pretty badly, cheating is the one thing a player can resort to when they're looking for a surefire way to secure a victory. Well, at least most of the time.
Why did I reload? What the fuck? Oh my god, I'm stupid!
Some cheats are rather harmless, like changing the cosmetics a person can see on their own personal screen, while others are a lot more apparent, like spin botting, so cheating doesn't just come in one form. Some sources have claimed that up to 30% of players in any given game are cheating in at least some way, which if you've ever actually played a video game before, you know this is the furthest thing from the truth. It's different when we're talking about specific games like CSGO, where it's essentially a cheater's paradise, but 1 in 3 players cheating on every single game? Yeah, I don't think so. But hey, at least the brand new CS2 that just came out fixed that game's cheating problem, right?
Where'd he go? Wait. Whoa! Where's that from?
Well, maybe they will soon. Some of my favorite instances of cheating are those that have happened in the speedrunning community. Speedrunning is when a player's objective is to reach from point A to point B in the fastest way possible, competing against other runners to see who can complete the game the fastest. But how do you cheat a speedrun? There are a ton of ways you could theoretically cheat a speedrun. Splicing, modifying certain aspects of the game such as RNG, using macros, and tons more game-specific methods. But what if someone cheated a speedrun by being able to see?
I heard you, Goomba.
Meet Super Fast Jellyfish Gaming, the culprit behind this horrific scandal. Today, he'll be completing a, quote, blindfolded speedrun of Super Mario 64's 16-star category. His objective is to collect 16 of the 120 power stars and a handful of the stages and tackle 3 different Bowser boss fights to complete the game, all whilst being blindfolded. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? It's important to mention that before the run even starts, he openly admits to have almost never practiced the category, only practicing 2 other times prior to this run, which is already suspicious enough on its own. But he assures the viewers that we can trust his years of experience with the game and that his muscle memory will be able to do all the showing for him. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt and check out this run. Surely it can't be that bad, right?
Maybe I should learn how to just ride the owl blindfolded. I slid off something. Oh fuck, am I at the submarine? Yes, okay. Yes, okay.
It was a disaster. To help flesh out the context a little bit, Jellyfish himself already wasn't what you'd call a top-level player. He only had 2 submitted runs in the non-blindfolded 16-star leaderboard, and both the times he did submit were only low to mid-level times. Not exactly notable, in other words. And yet he somehow miraculously turned around and got 4th place in a category that less than 10 people have ever submitted runs for due to its sheer difficulty, and with no prior practice on top of that. Just collecting 1 star blindfolded in this game is a feat that even some of the best non-blindfolded speedrunners struggle to do, and it requires hours and hours of practice just to do even the simplest of stars, no less completing an entire run. So this very clearly not top-level player coming out of the blue claiming to be able to beat the game blindfolded while also admitting he's never actually practiced sounded way too good to be true. The run would eventually spawn this video by Charlie Brown 64 exposing the run for all of its misdeeds, giving a spotlight to the situation to over 12 million viewers since its release. And eventually, Jellyfish himself would release a very strange apology video claiming that the run was never meant to be taken seriously.
Now, what you may not know is that that speedrun was purposely fake. It was purposely fake.
What I find the most strange about this statement is that realistically, he could have just finished the run and then said right away that it was a joke. But he conveniently only decided to bring up this part of the story after he began receiving backlash, which seems a little too specific of an outcome if you ask me. But now we've reached sort of a crossroad with the idea of cheating. What happens when, say, players are so skilled in their respective game that no one can actually tell if they're cheating or not? On the surface, this question may sound completely ridiculous. What do you mean, too good to tell if they're cheating? You're telling me a legitimate player can do things like this? Or this? No. I'm talking about some of the more subtle situations. Situations where the player isn't blatantly cheating, but where some of their clips and decision makings may incline some to believe there's something else going on. But who would be a good example? Let's take a look at the Counter-Strike player Flusha, a figure who's still debated to this day if he had a period of cheating in his competitive Counter-Strike career or not. Flusha himself has stated that he has such a strong understanding of how his opponents tend to play that 9 times out of 10 he's able to guess where they're going to be sheerly based off intuition, hence the reasoning behind some of his clips looking interesting. But some of those fishy moments were so intense that people were torn on if they could actually believe him or not.
Oh, someone is cheating. Of course, Flusha, cheater.
Yeah, of course, bro. Of course.
Shot goes for the wallbang attempt and Flusha with the wallbang of his own through the smoke takes out Edward. Could spot out Guardian, but the cavalry has arrived. Flamey is already on the site, and while C's is rotated around, how does Flusha find him in the smoke like that? The hell is going on?
Now, something to note is that Flusha himself has never actually been banned or gotten in any trouble from any of his allegations, despite many of them being made, which makes it highly likely that he is in fact entirely legitimate. But this entire situation should show you that in some cases, cheating can be a lot less black and white than you may have first thought. Something I find interesting about cheating is that, despite it taking place in virtually every game we play, the amount of cheaters that each game has is always going to be completely different. The developers of PUBG, for example, recently released an over 450-page long document listing all players by username who had been banned due to cheating in the previous week. Just through the days of October 23rd to October 29th alone, there were over 74,000 accounts permanently banned because of cheating, a number that certainly showcases an ongoing cheater problem. But on the other hand, we have games like Rocket League where after 7 years of the game being released, it finally got to witness its first set of cheaters, which is actually really impressive to say. Having a moderate amount of cheaters in your game is usually just fine in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, I killed him! Speedy Gonzalez, get fucked!
Running into a cheater every once in a while isn't the end of the world for most players. But if your game starts to develop a reputation for its high amount of cheaters, it can almost immediately start to weigh negatively against the game's overall playability. It's interesting because on one hand, you have games that rarely ever encounter cheating problems, while other games will sometimes lead you to questioning whether your opponents are actually better than you or if they could just be cheating, which isn't a concern the player should be forced to think about when playing at a high level. But with everything we've talked about in mind, it does kind of lead us to an important question. Will cheating ever go away? An optimist would likely say that the time will come where we have effectively removed the problem of cheating altogether, while a more pessimistic outlook may say that we'll never be able to get rid of cheating, at least in its entirety. And I think both of these perspectives would be completely reasonable to say. Unfortunately though, as it stands today, there are still a lot of kinks to work out in the effort to completely abolish cheating, but I don't think all hope is lost just yet. Finding the proper antidote to such a complicated problem is something that's going to take time to create. And just like any solution, it's up to us as the player to either believe in its possibility or to try and hopefully find another way around it. It's all up to personal interpretation at the end of the day. But to top this video off, how about we enjoy some moments of cheaters getting caught, for good time's sake.
Yo, they want my task manager? Hold up. Control delete. Oh my god.
The aimbot just fucking broke again, man.
Wait, what the fuck? Clara! Hold on, Clara, give me 1 second.
Y'all grab that loot, that might make the difference, dude.
He does need ammo. Oh my god.
The screen has the red squares around them.
Oh my god, no way. Oh no, what the fuck, man?